Happy to you too.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. As always, if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself or type into the chat box. Equipment you're going to need today is the same that we've been using. So a letter ball of some sort or a ball-shaped object that could be a rolled up pair of socks with an interesting pattern for your eyes to look at. And then just 2 pencils, 2 cooking utensils. You can use your thumbs if that's easier. Okay, so I'll have you come to a seated or standing grounding position of some sort. And we'll start by closing the eyes, dropping into our breath. And just noticing how the body's feeling today. Noticing how your breath is feeling. And then I want to bring your attention, for this body scan, we're going to bring the attention to your head and your neck. So just starting by noticing your scalp. How does your forehead and the area up over the top of your head and the back of your head, how does that area feel? Do you feel like you're holding any tension in that area? And if so, can you release it? How do your eyebrows feel? And how do your cheeks feel? And same thing, if you're holding any tension there, can you release it? Can you soften your cheeks? Can you soften your eyebrows and your forehead? And can you soften your jaw? Maybe even let your jaw hang heavy. Letting the area underneath your jaw and around your jaw hang heavy. And then can you release any extra tension that you're holding in your neck? First noticing it and then releasing it. Are there any interesting sensations in that area? Can you sense that area of your body? Just letting everything release. Let the jaw be relaxed. Let the neck be relaxed. Can you even let your tongue relax, whatever that means to you? Go ahead and set your intention for class today. We'll take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Good. Okay, let's start with a big shaking of our hands and our arms, like you're trying to get water off of your body. If you're standing, you can shake your legs out. Okay, good. And then stilling the body. Yeah, I'm going to have you take your hands and cup your hands over your ears. And you're just going to hold that for a second. You can close your eyes if you'd like. And you're going to nod your head down, tucking your chin in. And then you're going to lift your head and look up. And I just want you to do this gentle yes nod up and down, keeping your hands over your ears. Just helping to calm the nervous system right now, settle into the body. Can you hear your breath? Just do one more. Good. And then coming back to the center. And then we'll grab, either using our fingers or our knuckles, we'll grab our ear lobes and give a gentle tug down and back behind us. Remember, this is really gentle. And then grabbing the tops of your ears. And again, if it's easier for you to use your knuckles in your ears, you can do that too. And then pulling up and back behind you. Good. And then we can release that. And then we're going to find that face tapping that we were working on last week. So taking the tips of your fingers or your knuckles and very lightly, very, very lightly, you're just going to tap, maybe starting around your cheekbones, going down to your lower jaw and your chin, tracing the outline of your jaw. Maybe even coming up to your upper lip and then up to your forehead, coming to your eyebrows. And again, just trying to keep this whole area relaxed. And then you're going to take thumbs or knuckles right at the inside corner of your eyebrow. And you're just going to press and hold there. And we're going to add that same head nod up and down. Okay, so again, using knuckles or thumbs. Just applying a light pressure there as you really slowly nod your head up and down. Just do that one more time. Good, and then coming back to the center, we'll release that. Taking your knuckles or soft fist now and finding that drag coming from your cheekbones all the way down to your lower jaw. You're kind of in the part of your jaw closer to your ears as opposed to closer to your lips. So you should feel some muscles, some soft tissue in that area. As you do this, let your jaw open. Let your jaw go slack. Notice if one side feels tenser than the other side. Maybe give an extra few rubs on that side. You could even press and hold and breathe into it like we do with the belly. And just do a couple more. Okay, and then release that. Shake the hands out, let the lips go. Like a horse. Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna come into a little bit of neck mobility here. Gonna lower my sweatshirt down. This can be helpful here. I like to have my hands right at that area, kind of where my collarbones almost meet each other, because it helps me stabilize everything from the neck down so that we're just going to be moving the neck. If that helps you, your hands don't have to be there. It can just be a nice guide. Okay, so let's start with this. We'll give a gentle tug of the skin downward to that area. We'll just start with a couple neck stretches. So looking up at the sky, slide the lower jaw forward. And then look down and stick your tongue out, as far out forward as you can. Look up, slide the lower jaw forward as you pull the skin down. And then look down, stick the tongue out. Look up, jaw forward, down, tongue out. Up, jaw forward, down, tongue out. Couple more. Up, jaw forward, down, tongue out. Last one. Up, jaw forward, and down, tongue out. Good, and coming back to the center. Pulling on the right side, pulling with your right hand, you're gonna tilt your head and neck to the left. Yep, and then go ahead and switch. Do one more each side, switch again, just holding for a few seconds there. And switch again, holding for a few seconds there. Okay, we're gonna do a bunch of neck movements here. For those of you with hardware in your neck where these might be kind of challenging, I want you doing all of these same movements from the ribs, okay? So for everybody else, we'll stay with the neck, and if that doesn't make sense for you, I'm gonna have you do the same movements with your ribs. Okay, so we're gonna start with a gliding of the neck from side to side. I want you to basically think of this as a rib translation, but we're doing it with the head and the neck. Yeah, so you're like doing that dance move from the 90s or the 80s, whatever decade it is. Yeah, and you're trying to keep the floor of your mouth, so you're trying to keep your chin parallel to the floor. Just like when we do a rib translation, we're trying to keep our shoulders and our ribs parallel to the floor. Good. And just notice if first off the coordination is hard for you. Okay, because sometimes coordination can really be the hard part. Or notice if you're more restricted going one way compared to the other way. Yeah. And then you're going to do a glide forward and back. So this is like your pigeon, like your head is a pigeon. So tucking the chin in, giving yourself a bunch of double chins, and then jutting the chin forward. Tuck in and jut. Tuck in and jut. So you kind of become this pigeon, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. And just mobilizing that head neck area. I'm just going to watch people. Yeah, there we go. This one is typically a little bit easier than the side to side movement because we're more used to this movement. Yeah, good. Okay. Now you're going to move all of those. We're going to connect all of those and you're going to move your head in a circle. So again, similar to how we hula hoop the ribs around the pelvis, you're now going to hula hoop the neck over the ribs. Try to keep nose pointing forward the whole time. And which part of the circle is hard for you here? Yeah, switch directions. Really emphasizing tucking the chin in. Remember to tuck the chin in, pull it back, circle around, forward and back, forward and back. You might be feeling some neck muscles you didn't even know you had. Last one, and back to the center. Awesome. Okay. Go ahead and release that. Give the arms a shake. Okay, we're going to do kind of a front line with body tapping, a little different than how we've done in the past. So I want you to come to your hairline, knuckles or fingers, and you're gently going to tap. We're going to follow one of our meridians here, well, kind of one of our meridians, and you're going to tap from the forehead down the face, down to the jaw and the chin, very lightly down the sides of the neck, down the front of your chest, down the front of your stomach, down your quads, so the tops of your legs. If you're able to go up and over the knees and all the way down to your feet, I want you to do that. And then you're going to come back to the beginning. Hairline to cheeks, to eyebrows, to cheeks, to chin, to neck, to chest, to stomach, to quads, to knees, to shins, to top of the feet. And just go through that maybe 2 more times. Just noticing what parts of this line are tender. What parts of this line really like to be tapped? What parts of this line maybe don't like to be tapped? What parts are hard for you to feel? And when you've done that last one, we'll come all the way to the beginning and we're going to do something similar, but now we're going to go down instead of the front of the body, we're going to go down the sides of the body. So just doing this a little different today. So starting at the very top of your head. Yeah, and if you've got one hand that can only reach, I just want you to do one side tapping down and then do the other side tapping down. Otherwise, you'll take both hands starting from the top of the head, working your way down the side of the head. Be very gentle when you get to your temple. In fact, I'm going to actually have you avoid the temple and go more behind the ear. Again, down the sides of the neck. You can get the top of the shoulders if you're able to reach it. A little bit under the armpits. Ooh, sensitive there. Down the sides of the torso, sides of the hip, and as low as you can go down the legs, whether that's to the thighs or all the way to the feet. And then you're going to come back to the beginning. Top of the head, side of the head, behind the ears, sides of the neck, sides of the chest, sides of the torso, sides of the legs. And I'm still using the tops of my fingertips here. If it makes more sense for you to use a soft fist or to use knuckles, or if you want to take that more into a rub as opposed to a tap, you can do that too, but I'm kind of liking the tips of the fingers tapping down. Yeah, and when you've done that last one, go ahead and relax. We'll come, if you're able to reach your mid-lower back, I'm just going to have you find a gentle tapping there with your hands. If that's hard for you to reach, you're just going to stay with the sides of your torso. Take a breath into your low back. And each inhale, I just want you to bring right into that low back, keeping that breath low and deep. Okay, good, and relax. Awesome. And just sit with that for a second, just noticing if anything in the body is feeling different right now. Okay, we'll work on a little bit of spinal mobility. So we'll bring arms into the air, interlacing the fingers if you can, pushing the palms up. Take an inhale into the sides of the ribs. Start by just tucking your head into your chest. And I just want you to hold this for a second. Breathing into the sides of your ribs. Try to make your ribs as expansive as you can. And then slowly start to articulate forward. Keep those ribs expanded. Coming all the way down. Pause at the bottom. And take a few breaths here. On your next exhale, think of broadening your ribs again. And slowly roll yourself up. Arms come back overhead. Separate your hands, widen your fingers if you can. Pulling the arms back behind you, pulling the chest forward. And we're just going to do a few raises. Raising the arms up. Inhale and then exhale down. Raising the arms up. No worries, see you, Cynthia. Up, inhale, and exhale down. Keep that chest pulling forward. So you're just finding the snow angel movement, but I want that chest to be forward the whole time. When you lower the arms down, trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale up and exhale down. Okay, do one more, and then I'm going to layer on. So now as the arms come up, I want you to hollow. So, Stacey, I'm going to give you my side profile. So as the arms come up, I want you to round just the upper back as if you were going to start a roll down. And then when the arms come down by your side, lift the chest forward. Arms come up, hollow out that mid upper back. And then arms come down, pull the chest forward. Yep, arms up and hollow, broaden that area, and then down. Hold this next one up, broaden the upper back, and breathe into it. Can you feel the breath in between your shoulder blades? Can you hollow out that area anymore? Good, and then arms come down. Yeah, really nice. Okay, we're gonna put hands high on the ribs. Let's just go right into finding that hula hoop around with our ribs around the pelvis. So circling the ribs any direction. But trying to keep the shoulders and the ribs parallel with the floor the whole time, more or less. And then switch directions. Yeah, do one more. Good, and then coming back to the center. Okay, left hand is gonna come kind of up at a diagonal overhead, and right hand is gonna be down. Okay, so this left hand is gonna close down to the right hand. And then I want you to reach both of your hands down towards the floor, go down low as safely as you can. And then coming up, open that arm back up at a diagonal and reach through the fingertips like you're trying to pick an apple high and off to your right. Yep, good. Close the arm down to the other hand, reach down, and then sit back up, open that hand up, and reach up. Yep. Close the arm to the bottom hand, reach down, come up, and reach up. Yeah, and let's make this more fluid now. Reaching down and reaching up. I want your eyes and your nose and your head to point towards where you're moving. You're looking up at the top hand, you're looking down at the bottom hand. Looking top hand, looking at the bottom hand. Inhale to reach up and exhale down. Two more. Inhale up and exhale down. Last one, reach and then down. Good, and back to the center and we'll switch sides. Right arm up, left arm down. I want those arms kind of at a diagonal, okay? Looking up at your top hand, reach up like you're really trying to pick that apple above your head, and then closing in front of you and side bending, reaching down. Reaching up, look at that top hand, reaching down, look at the bottom hand. Reach up, reach down. Reach up, reach down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Do three more. Up and down. Yep, just watching people here. Up and down. Last one, up. Yeah, and down. Really nice. Good work, everybody. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna have you grab your letter ball or your ball-shaped object of some sort. Okay, before we play letter ball, we're just gonna warm up the eyes here. So let's start with this. For those of you that are able to grip the ball with both of your hands, so we're all going to keep our head facing straight forward. So nose stays forward the whole time. And you're going to bring that ball out in front of you. And then I want you to lower it without moving your head, only as low as you can go where you can still see a letter or a number on the ball. For those of you that are blind or visually impaired, stay with me. I'm going to give you something different. Okay, so your head is forward, your eyes are looking down, and you're going to move that ball out to the side and then up overhead. If your other hand can grab the ball, the other hand is going to grab the ball and then move it the other half of the circle out to the side and then down below. Out to the side overhead, the other hand grabs it, out to the side down below. For those of you that grip strength is challenging and or you have one dominant side, you can either use that dominant side and you're just going to use that arm to circle around the whole time. Or if gripping the ball is hard, you can just use your thumbs, or you can just kind of draw this imaginary circle around you, either with your thumb, with your pencil, or with objects on the wall around you. Okay, so whatever you're able to grab or move around you. The reason I'm having those of you that are able to do it with the letter ball is because it gives you more of a really specific target for your eyes to look at. I want you to do 10 to 20 circles in each direction. Keep that head forward. Challenge your eye range of motion here. Hang on. So let's see. So Nancy, keep your head forward. Yeah, keep your nose pointing forward as the ball moves around you. So it's just your eyes that are moving. Your head stays steady. Yeah, try not to cheat with this one. Try to keep that head really steady. I see some heads moving. That's okay. Okay, for folks that are blind or visually impaired, the only difference we're going to do is you're going to do a bigger circle with your ball. And I want your nose to stay pointed on the ball the whole time. So you're basically doing a really big neck circle, following your nose along with the ball as the ball lifts overhead. Move slowly, because this also is working your vestibular system a little bit. And same thing, 10 to 20 circles in each direction. Yes, I love how we're sharpening on the ball. That's awesome, Barbara. Get some letters and numbers on there. Yeah, that looks good, everyone. Remember, keep the head, that's it. Yeah, keep that head really steady. Yeah. Okay, when you've done those 10 to 20 or so circles, if anyone is dizzy, of course, please take a break. Remember, that means you've met your edge. When you've done the 10 to 20 circles, I just want you to find a roll down to the ground. So I know, okay, good. Okay, nice work, everybody. And then go ahead and roll yourself back up. Okay, go ahead and go right into playing letter ball with yourself. For those of you that are new, I'm going to explain it to you again. For those of you that have been playing for a while, remember, if you're doing a throw and catch method, to try to catch that ball at different angles around you. Catch it above your head, catch it at a diagonal, catch it to your side. Yeah, there we go. Okay, for those of you that are just joining the first time, I'm going to explain this one again. So holding the ball into your chest. You're going to pull the ball away from you at any angle you want to. Read the first letter or number that you see and pull it back into your chest. Pull it away from you at a different angle. Read the first letter or number that you see. Pull it back in. And you're just moving the ball at a different angle around you every time you pull it away from yourself. And if you're able to play catch with yourself, you're doing the same thing, trying to catch it at all of the angles around you. You can track the spinning numbers, or you can just track the number right when you catch it. Oh my God, Barbara, that is so funny. Her cat stole her letter ball. Yes, I had the same problem when I was at my folks' place. My dog took my letter ball. In fact, I never got it back. It still is over there. That is too funny. They want whatever you're playing with, especially if it's a ball. Okay, I'm gonna layer on, keep playing. If you catch a letter, I want you to think of a word, the first word that comes to your head as quick as you can. Think of a word that starts with that letter. So if you catch an S, you could say shop. If you catch a B, you could say Bob. Okay, so first letter, number, or first word that you think of, say the word. If you catch a number, I want you to, let's subtract 6 today. So subtract the number 6. So if you catch a 5, for example, then you would say -1. If you catch 15, then you would say 9. But I want it to be quick. I want you to keep moving through it, thinking of a word that starts with the letter, or subtracting 6 if it's a number, but still moving at a good pace, trying to challenge your brain to make that decision quickly and then act on it. Yeah, and if you don't have letters or numbers on your ball, no worries, just playing the standard letter ball, getting some eye tracking in. Yeah, good. Let's do 10 or so more throws. And if you catch the same letters, I want it to be a different word each time, a different word. I think the math is harder for me on this one. When you've done 10 or so throws, go ahead and relax, and you can put the letter ball down. And then I'm going to have you go right into grabbing your pencils or your cooking utensils or your thumb. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of vestibular work. Actually, so we're all going to do this one. Yes, we're all going to do this one. So holding, I'm going to come into the camera again. So we're going to start with some of the VOR, that vestibular ocular reflex. I think we were doing this, it was either last week or the week before. So holding that pencil out at arm's distance, so the tip of the pencil is right lined up between your two eyes. If it's hard for you to hold something, you could look at something on the wall or something on your computer in front of you. Your eyes are going to stay locked on that pencil the whole time, and you're going to start by shaking your head side to side as if you were saying no. Okay? You're moving your head as quickly as you can, where the tip of the pencil stays in focus the whole time. Making sure that you're not favoring one way. Yeah, I see some of you really turning your head far in the other way, but not turning far in the other way. So if you're able to, if you have that neck mobility, really try to move your head evenly in both directions. Okay, you're gonna do about, for folks that are blind or visually impaired, you're gonna be doing the same thing, just don't worry about the pencil in front of you. Still working the vestibular system here. Do about 10 more in this direction, and then I'm going to have you do about 30 nods, 30 meaning up down is 1, up down is 2, 30 in the up down position, 30 on one diagonal, 30 on the other diagonal. Take your time here, just move through this at your own pace. Eyes stay on the pencil, head moves. There we go. Yeah. There you go, Lynn, nice. Yeah, and then remember, if that means that the pencil moves a little bit in the opposite direction, I know with some of the limited neck mobility, that's totally fine. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you're doing 30 in each direction, up, down, and then each of the diagonals. Eyes stay on that pencil in front of you, and your head does the disco. So think of almost like your nose is doing the disco. Your eyes stay on the pencil, and your nose goes up and to the left, down and to the right. Up, left, down, right. Up, left, down, right. There we go. Yeah. This one can be hard. I see people's eyes starting to drift around. Make sure the eyes stay on the pencil here. Yeah, let your nose do the disco. Really let your nose do the disco here. This is the part of class where I should have some disco music ready. Maybe next time. Okay, as a reminder, if you get blind, if you get nauseous or your eyes start to water or your eyes start to itch, that either means allergy season is here, because that's how I'm feeling all the time now, or it means you've gone past your edge. Okay, so take a break, close your eyes, grab some water. We are in allergy season now, so if you get confused, maybe just take a break anyway. It is springtime. Okay, yeah, take your time if you're just finishing up. Okay, when you're done, we can place both pencils down, and let's just kind of reset the body. We can either cross the arms in front of the chest, or we'll take the hands behind the head. Good, and I just want you to find a round down, but I want you to think of touching your nose to your belly button, and then lifting the chest up towards the sky. Yeah, so it's not a full roll down, it's kind of a half roll down. Try to touch your nose to your belly button, and then lift. Yep. Exhale to curl. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift. Just keep moving through that. Putting some movement back into the spine. Last one. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lift. Good. We'll stay with our arms in that position. Let's take a side bend to the right and a side bend to the left. Side bend right. Okay, side bend left, and hold that side bend. Top elbow is going to close down to the bottom elbow. Try to touch your two elbows together. It's like you're giving your head a hug. And then open the elbows up and then sit upright. There we go. Side bend to the left. Give the head a hug. So try to squeeze the top elbow to the bottom elbow. Open the elbows. Come back to the center. Side bend. Rotate down. If your arms are crossed over your chest, you're just rotating down. And then back to the center and upright. Side bend, rotate down, top elbow to bottom elbow, and back to the center. Yeah, and then make that a little bit more fluid. Rotating, or side bending and rotating right from one side into the other side. We inhale to open, we exhale, close. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Which side is harder for you to do this movement towards? Okay, if it's not obvious, try to drop into that. Which side is harder? I want you to do an extra 8 on that side. Whatever side is harder, I want you to do an extra 8 on that side. Inhale to open, exhale to close. And if you really don't know which one is harder, then you can do both sides, but I just want to see which side is harder for people. Yeah, it's always good to give a little bit more love and attention to the side where it's harder. Remember, we're not going for perfect balance here, but we're just going for a little bit more balance, giving that sleepier side a little bit more work. Yeah, when you've done 8 on that side, we'll come back to the center. I'm going to have you grab your pencils again. Okay, so I'm going to stay zoomed in for this one. You're going to keep your lip, if you're able to, you're going to keep your lips closed for this. We're going to do a little bit of tongue with the neck, with the ribs, kind of movements. This will make more sense as I explain it here. So taking one of your pencils, and if it makes more sense either to use your thumb or to use just one hand, you can do that too. We're going to start by just doing side to side movement. So I'm going to take my left pencil and I'm going to reach it out to my left. I'm going to find that head translation. So I glide my head to the left. I glide my ribs to the left. I look at the left pencil and I poke my tongue into the left side of my cheek. And then I come back to the center. I reach out with my right pencil, head glides, ribs glide, tongue into the right side of the cheek, and then I come back to the center. Yep. Left side, head, ribs, tongue, and right side, head, ribs, tongue. Left side, head, ribs, tongue. Right side, head, ribs, tongue. Okay, now I want you to start to do that in all of the directions. You're going to be reaching forward, which means maybe my tongue goes into my upper lip. I reach forward and my head goes forward, my ribs go forward and I reach. And then maybe I go back behind me. My head moves, my rib moves, and then my tongue goes down to the lower left-hand corner of my cheek. Okay, there's no rules with this one. Basically, your whole body, including your tongue, head, ribs, and tongue, are going to follow the direction that that pencil is going. Kind of like we do with the letter ball, where you pull it out at an angle anywhere around your body. I want you to do the same thing with this. Head, tongue, and ribs follow that pencil. Like you and that pencil are a magnet, and you're always trying to be with that pencil, with the head, the ribs, and the tongue. Head, ribs, tongue. I know this sounds kind of silly, but it just brings a little bit more creativity into it, so it's less structured, but you're finding that sequenced movement, including your tongue. If you're standing, you can add in a few squats, getting low to the ground, and really pushing that tongue. Really push your tongue into the cheeks. We're activating a couple of our cranial nerves here. Yep, that's awesome. Just do a few more. Yeah, and then come back to the center. Nice work, everybody. Throwing some new funky stuff at you. Go ahead and take your shoulders. Let's just find a few shoulder circle rolls. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Take your wrists, find a few wrist circles. You can make a fist with your hand if you're able to. For my standing athletes, you can also do some ankle circles. Yep. Go ahead and switch directions and or switch feet. Give your hands a rub, hands or knuckles. Rub the back of your hands. Give your elbows a rub. I'm just using my opened hand here, just bringing some friction and heat to my elbows. And I'm switching. Give the tops and the backs of your shoulders a rub, maybe even the front of your shoulders. And then switching sides. Okay. And then we'll still the body. We'll close the eyes. Just noticing how your body's feeling right now. And then finding that same body scan of your head and neck. How does your scalp feel? The top, the back, the front. How does the area around your eyebrows feel? Are you still holding any tension in your jaw, your cheeks, your tongue? How does the area around your ears feel? And then going down the back and the front of your neck. Does that feel any different than the beginning of class? Go ahead and think of one thing you're grateful for today. We'll take one more inhale, one more exhale, and we'll open the eyes. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. As always, I'll take any questions that anybody has. Otherwise, have an awesome weekend, and we will see you next week.